Hey guys, my name is Luisa and today I'm gonna teach you how to do Photoshop illustrations for absolute beginners. What you can expect from this video is to learn how to set up your graphic tablet on your laptop, how to set up Photoshop and your workspace for illustration, and basic drawing techniques to start drawing in Photoshop. So let's start with. To start, what do you need? Any kind of graphic tablet will do. I'll show you everything from my perspective without you to throw in, but it translates for every brand or type of graphic tablet. For beginners, I recommend you to start with a pen tablet because you can get them for really cheap, so you don't have to compromise it in case you don't like it. Just make sure that it has a pen pressure, but most of them do. To make sure to make it work in your computer, we will need a driver. Just on Excel, it will work like a mouse. The driver will make the pen pressure to work and the other characteristics on your tablet. Normally, you will get an installation package when you first connect the tablet to your system, but if your tablet is a second hand, you might need to look for it. For that, you just need to search on Google. In my case, Wacom drivers. It will be the first link for in there. In the case of Wacom, you can look for the driver you need by the type of tablet you have. In my case, a pen tablet Intuos Pro Medium. I just download the driver for Windows and install it like normal. After the installation, the Wacom Center app will open. You can check all the characteristics of your tablet there and change the functionality of the buttons, etc. You can also find it from here on the Tools panel wherever you need it. Now, moving to the actual illustration. We will need to create a new project on Photoshop, and from there we will set up for illustration. Photoshop is a really big app where you can do many things, so we have to make sure the workspace is set for what we need. First, we're gonna set up the pen pressure. For that, we will go to the brushes setting window. If you can't see it, you can open it from the Windows, brushes, and it will open in here. You're gonna need to have your brush activated just by clicking in here or pressing B. Then go to the brush setting windows. Click in shape dynamics and in control click pen pressure. This will make the strokes go thin or bold depending on the pressure you put on the tablet. Then transfer control pen pressure again. This will make that the amount of ink in a way on the stroke depends on the pen pressure. So we can see the difference here. How to make your workspace more comfortable and optimized. When working on Photoshop, it's always recommended to memorize the keyboard commands to save you time, like brush is B. We can edit the key shortcuts. For edit key shortcuts, you will find out windows like this. Select tools and then look for the increase and decrease size and hardness. This is to make everything more comfortable. This is really up to you, but the point of it is to make it more comfortable for you to work and put everything in the keyboard in a way that is reachable for your fingers. Normally for size, I will use these two keys, and for hardness, I will use these two. Increase for this one and increase for this one. So they are easily reachable with your fingers, and just press, you can see how easy it is. Now you wonder, what do you mean by hardness? You can see it from here, but basically changes the stroke from a bold stroke to a very smooth, kind of like blurry. This is perfect to create different textures and to blend colors. play around and trying to get used to it. Another tip to make everything more comfortable: with Photoshop open, open your tablet settings app. In here, you can customize the buttons and the key shortcut in your tablet. In application, click on plus and add Photoshop. It should show up in there if Photoshop is open. And then go to the pen button, the bottom one, and instead of click, you already can click by tapping the pen on the tablet, select quick keystroke, and it will open a window. Here you just press the key you want the button to select. In our case, just the space bar. Just like that, accept, and you will come back to Photoshop and you will see in Photoshop the space bar key is the hands tool, so you can move around your artwork. With this, you don't have to reach for the space bar key, but just simply press the button on your pen. And that is pretty much it about setting up your tablet and Photoshop. Now you have a more comfortable and easy workspace to play around with the strokes and the hardness and the shortcuts. Now let's start with some of the drawing techniques. We are gonna start with layers. You can create a new layer from here. Layers allow you to edit and modify things in the layer without affecting the other ones. The point of it is that the top layer will cover the bottom layer, and you can move them around. If you can also modify the opacity from here. If, for example, you make a sketch, you can lower the opacity from here, and then in another layer you can do your work, and it will be easier for you to see, and the lines won't like disturb your line work. You can also group the layers by selecting them and then clicking in here. That way you can move around all the layers together and edit them, all of them together. It is a good practice to name your layers and groups. Right now it doesn't make much sense, but when you have like 20 layers in an illustration, it will make it easier for you to find what you're looking for. Another useful tip: in here you can see it says lock. If you click here, it will block your alpha, which means it will block everything in your layer that doesn't have anything on it. So you can change the color very easy with here. Now let's start with some drawings techniques. We are gonna see how to use all those hardness and transfer and pen pressure things that we set up before. Let's see the difference. When I don't have anything on, with a shape dynamic and with transfer. With nothing on is a bold line. With shape dynamics is a solid color but with a shape. With transfer it is a very see-through color. They are very useful when you know how to use them. When you only have shape dynamics on and no transfer, it's perfect to do line work and coloring because everything is a solid color. With transfer on is perfect for sketching and blending because you can build up the color. For example, to create shadows, we will need to have a good gradient color. To do so, we are going to add our two colors with only the shape dynamic, so it is just a good solid color with a hardness of 0, so it makes the stroke blur and the color will intercept in the middle. Then to blend this, turn transfer on, and with the key Alt you can pick the color when you click on it. So just click in the middle of it, then where when they intercept, you will have the color mix with the two of them. Just draw a line, just draw right at that line, and you will see how it starts to blend. You can keep doing that with the lines, and you will end up with a nice gradient color, perfect for things like skin and materials. Those are the basics that you will need to illustrate in Photoshop. Please feel free to play around with all those sets, with the lines, with the hardness, with trying to get used to blending. And then we come back and we put in practice all of those things in a real illustration.